And now, for the really big perspective, the one that makes sense of it all. I get deep and meaningful. There is an evil that has shrouded this world from the day you were apparently born. It has convinced us that life is hard, that corruption and strife, separation and competition, nastiness and heartlessness are normal. And we're to just forget that reality is actually good and complete and perfect, that it must be. That as the Buddha taught specifically, separation is doomed to be unworkable, and that only oneness really makes any sense. There's either truth and meaning, or everything is meaningless. There really is no other possibility. But it's like a matrix, this bad dream. It reinforces itself in every way, making it incredibly convincing. Everyone in your dream says the same thing. The news bulletins tell you over and over too, to be afraid. Black is white, black is white. But it's not real. It never was real, and it never can be real. You're only even afraid because you think you're a meat body, something that can die. The whole thing is just a pack of lies. Ultimately, and I'm going to get pretty out there here, there is no world. There's only you. As Indian philosophy, the birthplace of all religions and spirituality, makes clear, you as consciousness are the only thing without which nothing can be. Would you give up your consciousness in return for the whole universe, the classic Faustian bargain? No, because you would have nothing to even experience it with. Everything else is secondary, just appears like a changeable movie in you. You are actually life. Everything only derives its value, even its transitory existence, from you. Not you the person, you that is. Use it all? Anyway. And you cannot not be. You are. Say it. I am that. I am that I am. Pretty simple, huh? Well, maybe too simple. Though it may crush this body's life, nothing that appears has any power whatsoever over that. It's only a movie. And this particular movie is the Matrix. We only imagined unreality and this evil as the ultimate test to ourselves to know our true selves, even in the absence of all external evidence. All the evidence is really within. And that is a game so grand, so demanding, only a god could play it. But it's all just a bad dream. And you are God, no less. And this is a game you're playing with yourself. I speak this to myself as well. You're God. Who else could you be? How could dualism, two, exist if not out of singularity? One. Do you really think you're a pathetic, powerless, dying ape? If you could just ignore for a second all the messaging your distorted dream has fed you your whole life, just for a second, and look within, start again. Does that even make any sense at all? And this bad dream, this matrix, appears to be once again coming to a point of particular nastiness. Just as it has in times like the world wars in the past, when it seemed even more obvious, or at least it should have, that the whole world has gone insane, running around, killing and imprisoning complete strangers for no good reason that anyone can even remember. The figures in it are leaders and controllers who want that to happen. All the petty scammers have been possessed by an evil, and in most cases, without them even knowing. So claim your rightful power over them, these dream figures. You never agreed to their control over you. Never. But ultimately, it's not even their fault. They're just in your dream. So you must accept that it's ultimately your fault, your responsibility. They are then to be forgiven, just as Jesus showed, just as we forgive ourselves, because in reality, they are ourselves. Make sense? So when these people they label conspiracy theorists say to wake up to the unpleasant realization of what is going on in this crazy dream, it's really only the first waking up. Then there's the real waking up, the spiritual waking up, such as has always been talked about in the traditions from the dream altogether. Because without that, the first one may just make you angry, which is what you've been avoiding, carrying the burden for all those, the vast majority, who appear to refuse to do either. And it's only when we redream this reality, understanding in our deep quietness within our fundamental power to do so, making that our absolute priority instead of the workaday soft slavery life we were told this was, knowing that this that seems so real is not actually real at all, and that we're not egos that have to just struggle just to exist. That this bad dream can be completely replaced by another dream that perfectly reflects the abundance and oneness of actual reality. That this whole ever-present potential for nightmare in this samsara can end. Understanding that has been the whole point all along. That, or we could just abandon our minds altogether, the direct path. But for most of us, uniting the one and the two is a gradual path. So if we do that together, so to speak, uniting what has been torn apart, and it really comes into form by power of a tipping point of critical mass reached, maybe that is the necessary bridge to us really understanding that we really have that power. Or we could just live and die in our delusions on this beautiful planet we turn to shit having learned nothing.